KCSE 2025 compulsory essay will come from Fathers of Nations. We have 60 well-predicted essays like the one below. Contact for a deal, 072-646-8915. Essay number 38. Bad decisions bring about negative results. Draw illustrations from Fathers of Nations by Paul B. Vida to justify the statement. When a resolution needs to be made, one ought to be very careful. Wrong resolutions often lead to undesirable effects. On the other hand, good resolutions lead to good effects. Dr. Afolabi's decision to accommodate his family against his wife's demand leads to a broken marriage. When the couple finds Femi and Nimbo in their home, Pamela demands that he sends them away in the night. Dr. Afolabi tries to reason with her to allow them to spend the night and leave in the morning, but Pamela will hear none of it. He decides that they will stay as Femi is his family, and the decision to bring Nimbo to his house as a second wife to bear him children is not his. He is only a messenger. Afolabi tries to persuade his wife, but to no avail. Angrily, she pulls the still unpacked suitcase and returns to Boston, USA. A week later, their marriage is over as she sends divorce papers for him to sign. Although Pamela should never have forced him to choose between she and his family, his decision leads to divorce. He loses his wife and marriage. Professor Kimani's decision to physically attack newborn Walamu causes him untold pain and humiliation. Kimani seeks to confront Walamu for stealing his wife, Asiya, from him. He fails to understand how a rich Walamu who already has 3 young beautiful wives would want to marry a 60-year-old Asiya who had been married for 3 decades. However, he is unable to bear the arrogance of Walamu, who claims that old is gold and that he was like a real bull that dies with green grass in its mouth as a justification for his immorality. Prof. Kimani is unable to take more humiliation from him when Walamu begins to quote statistics of wife stealing globally. He attempts to punch him only to fall after Walamu dodges the blow. He is arrested, arraigned in court and sentenced to 6 months in prison for assaulting an honorable member of parliament. In addition, his university demotes him from a full professor to a senior lecturer, position he had first worked in. As much as he is pained by Asiya's betrayal, attacking Walamu only makes things worse for him, making him even more bitter and humiliated. Comrade Melusi's decision to attack his president was a huge mistake that only made his pain more. During the Gukarandi attack on the Ndeb, his community, his wife is killed by strangulation and left sprawled out on their kitchen floor in a taunting gesture. He therefore promises her to avenge her through apostrophe when he talks to her picture, which he carries with him throughout. It is sad that suffers the pain of her loss for over 2 decades in which she had been dead. Although this is 3PAGE not the only atrocity that he had suffered from the Zimbabwean leader, it clearly is the most hurtful thing he suffers in his life. Choosing the opportunity given to him to address the summit as the opportune moment to carry out his revenge, Melusi attempts to attack his president. However, he is whisked away by guards before he can do his president any harm. It is unclear where he is taken and what would happen to him. The move only makes things worse. He is thus unavailable to celebrate the win by Path Alpha alongside his fellow Path Alpha travelers. The leader of Zimbabwe's decision to oppress the Ndeb makes him unpopular, hateful, and causes untold suffering to the affected. He fails to appoint patriots who had fought the colonialists alongside him to state positions, making them feel betrayed and angry. In addition, he sets up the leader of Melusi's party in order to dismiss him from the position he had previously appointed him to by planting a cache of firearms in his home. He is dismissed on grounds of plotting for a coup. When his community revolts to express dissatisfaction following his dismissal, he unleashes untold terror by having the 5th Brigade massacre them even in their homes. Comrade Melusi loses his beloved wife, Zaliza, to this senseless killing, leaving him lonely and very bitter. He also demolishes the slums that many poor Zimbabweans live in, thus destroying their homes and businesses. He fails to provide alternative settlement area, making their struggle for survival much worse. Many citizens in Zimbabwe hate him and live in misery due to these poor decisions that he makes as a leader. The decision by the Gambian leader to oppress the people to paint a picture of beauty and progress in Banjul breeds suffering and inconveniences to the citizens. It is expected that hosting a summit like the one in Banjul, the Gambia, would bring good publicity and popularity for the country. Ironically, the price to pay is too high, and one that makes the citizens suffer to create comfort and weave a false narrative for the visiting heads. Whole neighborhoods are starved of the scarce water they would previously line up for to create new water fountains to mesmerize the visiting heads of states. In addition, roads are blocked and the citizens experience traffic jams that eat into their precious time. Guards also put roadblocks all over where they extort money shamelessly from motorists. As if that is not enough, kiosks in slum areas are torn down to create new streets. It is unthinkable that some poor families are left without a source of income for aesthetics. Such decisions leave the population oppressed, bitter and miserable. It is no wonder that such summits are never looked forward to by the citizens in host countries, as they spell trouble to the population. In summary, good decisions always result into good results. Poor decisions cause suffering, conflict and misery, as discussed. Therefore, caution should be practiced before making key decisions. Also available. Essays, question and answers. Samaritan excerpts, question and answers. Parliament of Owls essay, question and answers. An artist of floating world, question and answers. Silent song and other stories essay, question and answers.